अस्सलामुअलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बना ज़िदना इल्मा अल्लाहुम्मा फ़क़िहना फ़िद्दीन अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी अस्अलुका इल्मन नाफ़िया व रिज़्क़न तय्यिबा व अमलन मुतक़ब्बला आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन. So here we are with session number 202 for Quranic Arabic grammar, in which we are learning التقديم والتأخير. So my I'm going to start with a quick recap of what we have covered in the last session, and let me know if you are able to see my Google Doc. If you are able to see my Google Doc, can you let me know? Alhamdulillah, yes, you were. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So I'm going to take you back there. There's some technical issue today, but we'll inshallah try to make the best out of it. So select an example of nakira, mukhassasa, or ghair mahza. Among the three options that are on your screen, which one is nakira mukhassasa? What do you think? Azib, umatam mu'minatun, marad. What do you think? And I have to, somehow get back to see your answers. Okay, it is number 2. Okay, barakallahu fiki. It is number 2. Very well done. So let's look at the next question. The next question is the sequence starting from here? Ainal mafar. Correct. Is this a regular sequence? Is mubtada where it is supposed to be, or there is a change? Let's see here. What are the answers? Okay, so there is. Okay, so now you're saying that the sequence is correct. What do you think? The sequence, your mubtada is in the beginning. Sequence is not regular. Sequence is not regular, but this is a condition where it is supposed to be like this because your khabar is from the words for which there is sadaratul kalam, right? Aina, remember? Aina, we have covered in our last session, in our first session for taqdeem wa ta'khir. Aina is from the istifham, which was in the second category. If I show you my screen here, can you see here my screen? If I show you here Al-Asmaul Istifham, here there are three columns that are in front of you. The first column was Al-Majmu'atul Ula. It included Ma and Man. The second column, which was Al-Majmu'atul Saniya, included Mata, Aina, Ayana, Anna, Kaifa. And Al-Majmu'atul Salisa included Kam and Ayu. So according to this, we were focusing on the second column, where in Majmua Tusaniya there are words that we are going to encounter in Jumla Ismiya, and you are going to see them in the beginning. The taqdeem in this case of Mata, Aina, Ayana, Anna, Kaifa is going to be wajib, and the taqdeem is wajib for the reason that they are asmaul istifham for which there is sidaratu fil kalam. I hope you all have understood this, you know, clearly, and nobody has any confusion about that, right? Are we all good? If you are all okay with that, if I am going to see ism istifham, it's going to be in the beginning, right? So if you are going to see ism istifham in which belongs to the second one, I am emphasizing and I'm re-emphasizing, look at the second column. How many of you have memorized the second column? And if you have, start typing what were the words from Asmaul Istifham that were included in your second column, and they are making your Al-Majmu'atu Saniya. So sister, second group is what is in the second group? So start typing, and okay, so it is Mata, Aina, Ayana, Kaifa, and Anna, Very well done. So everyone with me so far. Now, if I ask you, what are the words or asmaul istifham included in in your al majmuatul ula? What is included in al majmuatul ula? Very well done to me. Barakallahu fiki. Man. Very well done. Sister Zohra. Man and ma is ula. And when I asked you about Al Majmu'atu Salisa, what will be included there? What should we put in there? There should be, there is ayu and come there, right? Ayu and come there. So far, I think everyone has understood it clearly, right? So let me now go back and let me show you what is going to what we are going to cover today. So when we were starting to learn about anwa'u taqdeem, we learned about taqdeemul khabar, and taqdeemul khabar is seen in jumla ismiya. We have two types of sentences, jumlatul ismiya and jumlatul failya. In case of jumlatul failya, when we learn taqdeem, we learn taqdeem of maf'ul bihi um, over fail. Okay, so how do we learn the second type of taqdeem? The second type of taqdeem is taqdeemul maf'ul bihi. So in a regular jumlatul failya, you have your fail, you have your fa'il, you have your maf'ul bihi. But in this case, when there is taqdeemul maf'ul bihi, what do you expect to see before fail? You are going to see maf'ul bihi before your fail. I hope this is clear to all of you. In this case, before we learn about taqdeem of maf'ul bihi alal fail, I want you to review this small topic with me, which we have covered. I think it was in our third or second term. So I would just want you to refresh your memories on this one. Do we ever see taqdeem of maf'ul bihi over file? In the order that I just showed you, you have been taught that there is going to be a fail, there is going to be a file, and there is going to be maf'ul bihi. So now, if there is a change between file and maf'ul, there is also a change in sequence. I hope you all understand that definitely there's going to be a change in sequence in that case as well. So if that is the case, if there is a change in sequence, what is the reason for the change in sequence? I just want you, we have covered that before, but I just want to make sure that everyone has, they remember and they know what does that mean. Okay. Okay, so now let's see here. 1 second, I have to. So, what are the cases when we are going to see this taqdeem? And 1 second, I'm just, trying to do one thing uh, here. Okay. So, yeah. So, what is the reason for your maf'ul bihi to be before your file? This is what I want you to review with me. So in the first case where you are going to see your maf'ul bihi before your file is when a maf'ul bihi is a damir and it is attached to the fail, right? When there is a damir as a maf'ul bihi, like in here, nasarani Muhammadun, Muhammad helped me. So since Yaul Mutakallim is attached to fail, it is wajib for maf'ul bihi to be before the file. If you have understood this or you remember learning this, type 1. Everyone with me? I want you to all be on the same page. There should be no confusion, because though this is not what we were supposed to learn, but this is something that we have covered before, and I think that this is a great opportunity to you know, refresh our memories about this one as well. So if your maful bihi is damir that is attached to fail, it is wajib for it to be before the file. If your file is ism zahir, is your file ism zahir? How do you know it is ism zahir? What is the opposite of zahir? If it is file is ism zahir, what is the opposite? Okay, mustatir. Can its opposite be damir? Because if there is a damir which does not have to be mustatir, if it was nasaru ni, is damir mustatir there? No, right? Your damir is not mustatir in that case. So keep that in mind. Ism zahir here is being compared to damir. If the doer here was nasarani and there was no Muhammad, is there any taqdeem in that case? Is there any taqdeem if there was no Muhammad? Since there is an outside doer or ism zahir, which is the doer in this case, only in this case you are going to say that there is going to be a taqdeem that is wajib. Similarly, if it was nasaratni fatimatun, nasaratni fatimatun, in that case again the same situation is going to come. But if it was um nasarta, or and there is something else, there is there is some something else, but you don't know tanween. Barakallahu fiki, very well done. Why no tanween? Why no tanween on fatimatun? Why not Fatimatun and Fatimatu? Very well done. Because it is a feminine name, it's partly flexible because it's a name and it's a feminine name, so it cannot take tanween. Barakallahu fiki. Very well done. Okay, so now come back to what we are learning here. And since I am having technical difficulties, so it's going to be a little tricky for me today. But inshallah, I think we will be able to, learn what we are supposed to learn today. So the first case is clear to all of you. The second case is when you have to bring in only, when you have to use ma or illa or sometimes innama. In that case you also have to have order changed. Okay, there will be a change in order in that case as well. For example, you're seeing here ma nasara zaidan illa muhammadun. Only Muhammad helped Zaid. For that to be the way it is, Muhammad has to be after Zaidan. Is this clear to all of you? Or another example, Man yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant. Man yaghfiru dhunuba illa Allahu. Right? Who will forgive the sins except for Allah? Right? Everyone with me so far? Or who will forgive the sins except you, O Allah? In that case, also you will notice that your doer is going to be after the maf'ul bihi. The regular sequence, fail, file, maf'ul bihi. First case, when it is mandatory or wajib for maf'ul bihi to be muqaddam to file, is when the damir is attached to the fail. The second case, when there is hasar, which is hasar. For hasar you are going to see the words like ma and illa, man or illa, la or illa, innama, annama. Those are the words that you are going to see for your hasar and kasar. Okay, in those constructions you are going to see change in sequence, and it is wajib for the sequence to be changed. If you are all with me, type 1. Before I go on to teach you the third case and revise with you the third case, Barakallahu Fiki. For now, I think I will just continue, with whatever I have on my slide. Okay, and we can, talk about it later. Okay, inshallah. So Sadiba, this is for you. Okay, inshallah. So when file has an attached pronoun that goes back to maf'ul bihi, when a file has a pronoun that goes back to maf'ul bihi, what should come first? And we have been doing something similar to that in Jumla Ismiya as well. If you have a damir attached to your shubhul jumla, it is mandatory for mubtada to be muakhar, right? Do you remember the example ala kulubin akfaluha, right? The same, the example that we just have done in our last session, right here. Ala kulubin aqfaluha. So this aqfaluha mubtada had to be made muakhar. Why? Because it had ha that was going back to your ism in shubu jumla. Similarly, the same case, very similar to this you are seeing here. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ. So رَبُّهُ, who is the doer in this case? Who is the doer? Rabbu is the doer, and it has a pronoun here which is got separated because how it, it's showing up on screen. It was not like that. When I, highlighted it, it got separated. Let me see if it goes back. Yeah, it's going back to its normal form now. But this who was going back to Ibrahim. So you have to have an ism first, and then you bring a pronoun that goes back to an ism, right? this is how this is how you have learned everything should be, right? First, you mentioned an ism, and I have been teaching you this is a common sense thing. This is a common sense thing that you have an ism first, and then you bring in a dami that goes back to an ism, right? Do you all agree? So here, Ibrahim was maful bihi, but since file has an attached pronoun, it's mudaf ilayhi, who, which is going back to maful bihi, file had to be made muakhar. Is this clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah, we are all on the same page. So this is something that can come as well, and that must be understood as well. All these three cases must be memorized by heart. So in the case, you see them in Quran, you're not confused about why what is happening, why is this happening, okay? Inshallah. So now we are going to learn the topic that we were supposed to cover today. Today's topic was how maf'ul bihi is going to be before the fail. Remember, taqdeem is of two types. First is taqdeemul khabar, and the second one is taqdeemul maf'ul bihi ala fail. Is this clear to all of you? We were supposed to learn taqdeemu maf'ul bihi ala fail. Okay? So here you are seeing in the very beginning of your Quran, when you open up Quran, the surah that opens up the Quran, Al-Fatiha, has Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. If your damir, if your maf'ul bihi is damir nasab munfasil, it is mandatory for it to be before the fi'l. It is mandatory for it to be before the fi'l. Everyone with me? Why is it so? Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. How this is happening? Alhamdulillah, because it is an independent pronoun. Independent pronoun must be before the fail, and that is how everything is going to work in this case. Why is this made before the fail? What is the reason? The reason is التخصيص والتوكيد. التخصيص والتوكيد, exclusivity, which means only you we worship, only you we ask for help. And توكيد, there's a lot of emphasis when إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين, when the pronoun is before the fail, you get a lot of emphasis. I hope this is clear to all of you. So if your damir is maful bihi, which is independent pronoun, In that case, it must be before your fail. Okay? So here, the same thing. Iyahu tad'una, iyana ta'budun. So iyahu tad'una, iyahu is before fail tad'una, iyana is before ta'buduna. Why? For at-takhsis wa tawkid. Its hukm is wujuban. It is wajib for these damair and munfusila to be before the fail. The next case that you are going to learn is the case when you have asma'u shart. Man, ma, mahma, ayyuma, ayyama. Have we learned them ever? No. It is just that iya never has, you have never been taught that iya means only. Not at all. No, iya does not mean only. The meaning only comes from its taqdeem over its fail. The taqdeem of the pronoun over the fail before it was brought before the fail. That is why we are adding only here, right? So yeah, jazakallah khair. Yes, it is very important because we have covered this topic very many times before when we were learning our pronouns. So I was like, why you are asking this question. But yeah, so this is not, because if it was na'buduka, the meaning would have been we worship you. Nasta'inuka, it would have meant we worship you. But now you have iyaka wa na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, so that is where you are getting the word only. For example, if I give you the part of the words alhamdulillahi, translate everyone for me. Alhamdulillahi. What is the meaning? All praises for Allah. Everyone uh, satisfied with the translation? All praise and gratitude belongs to Allah. Now, if the same thing, the same Alhamdulillahi, if I change the order, Lillahil hamdu, how will you translate, my dear sisters? All praise is only for Allah. The praise belongs only to Allah, right? So this only, did I add any word that meant only, my dear sisters and my new sisters who have been joining us now? Did you notice any word that I have added that could have meant only? No, right? I only change the sequence of the words. I only change the sequence of the words. How I just changed the mubtada and khabar, the sequence of that, mubtada and khabar, and I was able to add only just because of that. Similarly, you are only changing the sequence of your words in Jumlatul Felia and you are getting only here. I hope this was all clear. Okay, iya itself is a pronoun and ka is considered to be harf harf lil khitab, right? So I hope this was um clear to all of you. Yeah, and there are two views about it. Barakallahu fiki. Yes, some consider the whole iyaka as the whole compound as a single word, and they say that this is the maful bihi, or this is the pronoun, that together everything is pronoun. And then there is another view as about it, where iya is the mir munfasil independent pronoun and ka is a harf. Okay, so, but that is for another day. We have already covered that topic. So, I'm going to just now go ahead and I'm going to teach you what is the second case where you are going to learn a change in sequence. Your asma'u shart. Do you ever see them in the middle of your ayahs, or do you always see them in the beginning? Most of the time. Most of the time, when you see asma'u shart, where are they found? Or even advatu shart, even they are found in the beginning as well, right? So when you have man, ma, mahma, ayyuma, ayyama, all of them you will find them in the beginning of in the beginning of the jumla shartiya, even if they are maf'ul bihi. And remember, we have been learning how sometimes man shartiya, for man shartiya, we have done many examples recently as well when we were covering our Surah Taha, that man shartiya can be in the beginning, and it is labeled as maful bihi, and then for the fail mutaaddi that follows it. So the same thing we are going to learn today in taqdeem wa ta'khir. When it comes to asma'u shart, all the ism shart, because remember there could be harf shart as well. Can anyone remind me what are the huruf shart? In, law. No, man is ism, right? Man shartiya is an ism. So in is harf shart, is ma is harf shart, and then you will see law in the ghair, in ghair jazima, you see law, you see amma, you see, and there is laula, right? And lauma included in there as well. Is not, you will not learn is as your shart, right? Is not going to be included in your um shart. Is going to be, iza is included in your in your adwatu shart. But when it comes to iza, is iza ism or harf? Iza is going to be an ism, right? It's going to be an ism. Barakallahu fiki, my dear sisters, right? I hope this is clear to all of you. Iza is an ism. Now, when you have man, ma, mahma, ayyuma, ayyama, and now just like I want you to memorize those aina, mata, ayyana, kaifa, anna, I want you to memorize these five as well, which are the asma'u shart when they are going to be followed by a fail that is mutaaddi, and it does not have its maful bihi mentioned after it. In that case, you will notice there is taqdeem of maful bihi ala fail, and that is the case when it is wajib for maf'ul bihi to be brought before your fail, because these are the words for them is sadaratu min al kalam. Yes, very well done. So there are three memes. Sister Faiza is telling man, ma, mahma, three memes and two hamzas. And this is the same thing. Ayyuma and ayyama, are they not the same thing? It's just the word ayyu that sometimes can be followed by ma zaida, which is harf, ghair kafa, and ayyama is the same, ayyamma is the same thing. Remember why there is a tanween on ayyan? Why is there tanween on ayyan? Look at the words before. There is, because sometimes ayu does not act like mudaf. It is not going to act like mudaf. When it does not have its mudaf ilayhi after it, does it need to be munawwan, or does it need to be without tanween? So when it does not have its mudaf ilayhi mentioned, in that case it will be with tanween. And when it has its mudaf ilayhi after it, when it has mudaf ilayhi after it, in that case it's going to be light. It's going to be ghair munawwan. So we are going to look at it just now, okay? So man, ma, mahma, ayyuma, and ayyama. Okay, ma. Let's begin with ma. ما يفتح الله ما يفتح الله للناس فما لا ممسك لها. Okay, whatever Allah opens for the people, then there is no stopping for it. Then there is no one who can stop it. So what is happening here? Ma is doing what job? Allah opens for the people. Ma is shartiya. When it comes to the Arab, it is going to be Ma is shartiya, jazima. It made yaftahu, yaftahi. And this kasra is just for iltaqai sakinin. It was yaftah, right? Yaftah, it set the condition, and it has set the condition, and after that is its jawabu shart, beginning with faw rabita. Everyone understood that far, right? When it comes to fataha yaftahu, fataha yaftahu, it has a file which is lafzul jalala marfu ta'zim, Linnasi is going to be jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fail. So what is the role of ma here? What is it answering for you? There's a fail, there's a file, there is muta'alliq bil. Is it mubtada or maf'ul bihi? It's going to be, it is going to be maf'ul bihi muqaddam. It is going to be, no, here it is not busy with that. Whatever Allah opens for the people, then there is no one who can stop it, or there's no stopping for it. Okay, so there is this is doing the job. Ma is coming in the position of maf'ul bihi. Okay, ma is doing the job of maf'ul bihi. Okay, and it has been made muqaddam. It has been made muqaddam because it is a word for which there is sidara, as-sidara min al-kalam. Okay. Now look at the next example. Ulaika allazina la'anahumullahu. So this is one sentence. Now let's look here. Man yal'anillahu, man yal'anillahu, falan tajida lahu nasira. So now what is happening here? Yal'an, yal'an is majzoom because of man shartiya. Yal'an is fail with file lafzul jalala marfuli ta'azim. What is missing here? There is a maf'ul bihi, right? This word yal'an, whoever Allah curses. So this man is maf'ul bihi for yal'an, and yal'an is a fail that is mutaaddi. Allah curses him. Is it possible? Is it mutaaddi, right? So yal'an is missing its maf'ul bihi here. Therefore, we are going to say that this man is has been brought forward as the maf'ul bihi for yal'an, and this man is shartiya, man shartiya, and that's how you are going to understand this part of Surah An-Nisa, verse number 52. So it is maf'ul bihi muqaddam. Why is it muqaddam? It is wajib for it to be muqaddam, but it is muqaddam for the reason because it is from the words for them is the sidara. Okay. The next example is mahma qalu. Whatever they say, anka about you, min su'in, in terms of evil. Whatever evil they talk about you, fasbir, fasbir. Then you be patient. So mahma qalu, they say, fail wal file, anka about you, jar wal majrur muta'alliq bil fail qalu, min su'in muta'alliq bi hal min al mahma, fa rabita isbir is failul amr. Again, whatever they say, this is your maf'ul bihi muqaddam because it is from the words for which is the beginning. It is always going to be in the beginning. It's from the words from them is a it is from asma'u sidara. Okay, everyone with me, or you are sleeping, or it's making sense so far? Alhamdulillah. The next example that you have on your screen is qala dhalika baini wa bainak. That is between me and between you. Ayyamal ajalaini qadaitu fala udwana alayhi. Whichever term I complete, then there is no animosity against me. So ayyama, ayyama is here making an idafa with al ajalaini, right? So it is making an idafa. If you look at this, qadaitu, how is it related to qadaitu? Qadaitu is failed with file, damir, muttasil, taul file, right? Ayyama, ayyamal ajalaini is mafulun bihi for qadaitu. And ayyama is also setting a condition here. Remember when we were learning Surah Ar-Rahman, in there I taught you how ayyama is also one of the advatu shart, and ayyama or ayyu is a word for which there is always going to be sadaratu min al kalam. It's always going to be seen in the beginning of the sentence, and this is the beginning of the sentence. right? In this sentence, with jumla shartiya and jawabu shart, this is the beginning. Qadaitu is going to be fi'lu shart jazim, فاء الرابطة فاء رابطة لا أدوانا لا نافية للجنس أدوانا اسم لا علي is going to be جار والمجرور متعلق بالخبر. Everyone with me so far? Why is أيما الأجلين going to be in the beginning? Because it has to be in the beginning, because this is from the words for which there is a sidara min al kalam. Now, last example in this category is going to be أيما. Here you can see kulid u, you say you all call Allah, abid u, or abid ur rahman, or you all call ar rahman. Ayyamma tad'u, whoever you call, falahul asma'ul husna, then to him belongs the beautiful names, right? So here ayyamma, what is the role of ayyamma when you look it on in context of tad'u? Ayyamma is maful bihi for fail tad'u. Whatever you all call, whatever you all call. So my zaida ayya is going to be your adwatu shart jazima, and that is why the word after it is tad'u and not tad'una. You notice that? Why is this mudare majzoom? It is majzoom because of ayyan. Okay, the noon got dropped because it was made majzoom because of ayyan. So ayyamma tad'u falahul asma'ul husna. Okay, so ayyamma, again, everyone, ayyamma is going to be maful ayyan is going to be maful bihi muqaddam, ma is harf zaida ghair kafa, and tad'u is felu shart jazim, right? Felu shart jazim, and falahul asmaul husna is lahul asmaul husna is going to be jawabu shart. In here, lahul asmaul husna, mubtada is muakhar. Do you all agree? Is this wajib for mubtada to be muakhar in this case? Is it wajib for mubtada to be muakhar in this case? Al asmaul husna. It is not wajib. Very well done, Hiba. Very well done. It is jais. This is a case where you see there is a permissibility. Taqdeemul khabar jawazan, when your mubtada is marifa. Biyadikal khair. So biyadikal khair, mubtada is marifa, and your shubu jumla has been brought forward. When mubtada is marifa, it is jaiz, it is allowed. Okay, you are going to say no, it's not wajib, it is jaiz for that to be muqaddam. Everyone with me? Alhamdulillah. Okay, now the last no, it's not a last case, but another case where we are going to see your asmaul is asma that are going to be in the beginning, and for these words you are going to also have as-sadaratu min al-kalam. Okay, so now see what words are there. You have to focus on this list. Okay, ma, maza, man, manza, ayyukam. If I ask you from the categories that I've shown you of asmaul istifham, which category are these words from? Al-majmu'atul ula, al-majmu'atul saniya, al-majmu'atul silasa. So this is from the first and the third column. Yeah, your first and third column is going to be studied in taqdeemul maf'ul bihi. Where will you find your first and third column, my dear sisters? Faiza, are you going to find it in taqdeemul khabar or taqdeemul maf'ul bihi? You are going to find those columns, those two columns that we were seeing in the beginning. Here you are going to find them, first column and the third column you are going to focus on in تقديم المفعول به على الفعل. Okay, everyone with me? That when you have to study taqdeem of maful bihi before the fail, there you are going to learn ma, maza. It's the same thing for now. Man, manza, ayu, and kam. So when you have ma ta'abuduna in Quran, you have seen this. Yaqub alayhi salam asking his sons ma ta'abuduna. So ma is going to be maful bihi muqaddam. Ta'abuduna is going to be fail wal fa'il bawil jama'a. There is no maful bihi mentioned after ta'abuduna. So ma is going to be labeled as ma al-istifhamiyya maful bihi muqaddam, right? And its taqdeem is wajib because it is from the alfaz for which there is the beginning. They must be always in the beginning of kalam. The next example, man yuhibbu, who do you like? Who do you like? So here again, man as istifhamia is going to be labeled as maful bihi muqaddam. When you have come here, come al istifhamia, and what is the indication that this come is istifhamia? What helped you determine that this come that is on my screen is istifham and is not come al khabariya? Because the tamyiz that you are seeing following come is nasbin status. Barakallahu fiki. There is no min mention. Therefore, we know for sure that this come is going to be come al istifhamiya. Come kitaban karata. Translate that for me. Faisal, don't translate it. Let other sisters translate this one. Come kitaban karata. How many books? How many books have you read? So, is this clear? So this is qara'ta, you read. Kam kitaban is your maful bihi, right? Easy. So this kam is going to be maf'ul bihi. Kam as istifhamia is going to be labeled as maf'ul bihi muqaddam. Do you know how do we find what is going to be the i'rab for our kam? What helps us determine the i'rab for kam? How do we know that this is going to be now maf'ul bihi? How now it's going to be zarf muta'alliq bil fail, or now it's something else? Yes, barakallahu fiki. You have to look at its tamyiz. If its tamyiz is answering your what question? If it is answering your what question? If the tamyiz of kam is denoting ma, if it isn't it like ma? Yes or no? Kam kitaban, ma qara'ta kind of thing, right? What did you recite? Or but it's the same. It's telling you it is denoting ghair akil. Kam kitaban ghair akil. When it is ghair akil, you treat it like ma. So you are going to label your kam al istifhamia as maful bihi muqaddam. The last example on my screen for you all from Surah Ghafir, verse number 81. فَأَيَّ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ تُنْكِرُونَ. أَيَّ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ. Can you connect all these three words together? Idafa, two idafas. Ayya ayati, one idafa. Ayati lahi, another idafa, right? Tunkiruna, you all deny. Tunkiruna, you all deny. Which of the signs of Allah will you deny? So this is answering your what question, right? Ayya is answering your what question. That is why it is going to be labeled as maful bihi muqaddam. Why is it in the beginning? The answer again is going to be because it is from asmaul istifham, and for them is the sadaratu min al kalam, and the type or the hukum of the takdeem in this case is again going to be wajib. It is wajib for ayya, kam, ma, man, istifhamya to be in the beginning of the kalam. Are you all with me? Or I have put you all to sleep? Okay. The last case, I think the last two cases we have gone over when we were learning our jumla failure. Jumlatul Felia, some, we have covered this at that time too. When your maf'ul bihi, when your when maf'ul bihi is jawab to amma shartiya. So just think about it like that. So when your maf'ul bihi comes after amma shartiya, when your maf'ul bihi comes after amma shartiya, then it is wajib for maf'ul bihi to be muqaddam to the fail. If I give you this verse, amma sa'ila fala tanhar. Amma sa'ila, as-sa'ila. How will you label? Okay, maf'ul bihi muqaddam. Fa is going to be fa rabita or fa jawabu shart. La tanhar. La nahiya. Tanhar is going to be mudare majzoom. Bila, right? And what is as-sa'ila is maf'ul bihi for fail tanhar, right? And it is the case when it is wajib for maf'ul bihi to be before your fail. The other example, فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. So la taqhar, who do not, you are not supposed to, shun away and be rebuke, right? Yeah. So la taqhar, la taqhar al yatima, think of it like that. But when there is amma shartiya, when there is amma shartiya, what happens? The order is going to be changed. It is wajib for it to be changed. It maful bihi is going to be after amma shartiya, and fail is going to be starting with fa. Everyone with me so far? I'm seeing Aisha, Faiza, Hiba. Afshan, are you with me? Are you getting this? Yes, Sister Shamim is a listener. Yeah. So is it because you have, this is how you have seen it in Quran, and now when you see it in Quran this way, you are just learning that this maful bihi, and you have covered this before as well, but now more so, that it is wajib for a sa'ila to be before the fail because of amma shartiya construction. In this sentence structure, maful bihi must be before the fail. The last case is when your failul amr is muqtarin bil fa, your failul amr has a fa attached to it. Remember? Fa'bud. In that case, also maful bihi must be muqaddam. Do you see? Fa'bud balillaha, balillaha fa'bud. So who is being asked to be worshipped? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So here, maf'ul bihi is again brought muqaddam. And in this case, what is happening? Do you see any amma shartiya? You don't have anything like that. But you're seeing fa attached to your failul amr. In this case, you are going to, you are going to treat it like this, like here, there's amma ashartiya al mahzufa jawazan. It is permissible for amma ashartiya to be omitted. Okay, it is permissible for amma ashartiya to be omitted, and that is how you are going to consider this. In the last part of our surah Taha, I remember I showed you something very similar when there was a filul amr muqtarin bil fa, but there was no amma before, but we treated it as there was an amma before, and this is how you are going to say it. Yeah. You can say it lafzul jalala, you are going to call it maful bihi. Yeah, you're considering it that there was an amma here that has been omitted, that has been mahzoof. Yeah, got it? Everyone? Everyone with me so far? Yeah, like just like the option number 3, there you see amma mentioned. Here you are not going to see amma mentioned. Remember, um, we had these examples. um, 1 second, I'm going to just quickly show you those examples. Okay. This one, if you look at this one, warabbaka fakabbir, we covered this in previous session as well. Wathiyabaka fatahhir. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Can you see this one now? My tanzil.net. Alhamdulillah, barakallahu fiki. Rabbaka fakabbir wa thiyabaka fatahhir. What are we considering here? Rabbaka, what did I tell you how you are going to label Rabbaka? Maful bihi muqaddam. Thiyabaka, maful bihi muqaddam for fail, tahhir. Right? That is how I have taught you. Right? So similarly, here, when you go here, you are going to consider the same thing. Okay? Now, this is going to be the summary of where you are going to, have everything together. The first thing is, you start from the left hand column. When your maful bihi is damir munfasil, it is wajib for it to be muqaddam, and that is done muqaddam, that is there, that is muqaddam for the purpose of at-takhsis wa tawqid. Okay, it has been brought forward for at-takhsis wa tawqid. When your maful bihi is from the words for them is the sadaratul as-sidara min al-kalam, maful bihi is going to be in the beginning. So what are those isms that we have just learned? Ism istifham, ism shart, and remember kam khabariya is going to be included in the same category as well. Okay, if your isms are from the category for which there is the beginning in of the for them is the beginning, they are asmaul as-sidara, they are going to always be in the beginning, just like madha yunfiqun, ma yaftihillahu linnas min rahmat fala mumsik laha. So in this case, it is just for generality. When you have asma'u sidara, the purpose, the ghard is al-amum. There is no takhsis, there is no tawqeed. Is this clear to all of you? When asma'u sidara are going to be there, which include asma'ul istifham, asma'ul shart, and kam al-khabariya, you are going to say that the taqdeem in this case, the ghard of taqdeem is al-umum. It is just for generality. It is not for takhsis or tawqeed. Okay? When it comes to amma ash-shartiya, when it comes to amma ash-shartiya that is visible, or amma that is mahzufa, jawazan, in both these two cases, you can say that maful bihi has been brought muqaddam for the purpose of law, to bring lot of attention to al yatim and asail. Number one, to bring lot of attention to asail, to be considerate, and also for the purpose of tawqeed. Okay, is this clear to all of you? That al anaya, to consider something, to pay attention to something, to take ownership of something. So basically, you can think of it as to pay attention, just like ihtimam, to bring attention to something, similar to what it al ihtimam is. Okay. The last thing that I want you to know is, if you see anything other than those four cases, for example, do you see in Quran فَفَرِيقًا كَذَّبْتُمْ وَفَرِيقًا تَقْتُلُونَ? Do you see this in Surah Al-Baqarah? Right? Now there is maful bihi that has been mentioned before. Kazzabtum is going to be the fail, wal file, tal file, and the same thing is happening here. Wafarikan taktuluna, fail is mentioned after the maful bihi, and maful bihi has been brought forward. Why is so? Why so? It is done for emphasis. You can just say it is done for emphasis, but it's this taqdeem, is it wajib? Is it wajib for in this case to bring your maf'ul bihi before your fail? No, this is a case when you are going to say that this is a case when taqdeem is jais. Number one, it is jais. The purpose is tawqeed. Purpose is a tawqeed, and emphasis, tawqeed meaning emphasis, and all the other cases. If you don't find these four, if you don't find these four sababs, if these four asbab are not there, and something happens like here, you are going to just call your taqdeem jawazan. All these cases, what is the hukum here? What is the hukum of taqdeem here in all these four cases? It is wajib for maf'ul bihi to be muqaddam. It is wajib for maf'ul bihi to be muqaddam in rest anywhere in Quran. If you see maf'ul bihi muqaddam, you're just going to say that this has been brought forward just for the, it is jais for it to be brought forward. Taqdeem is jais, and the purpose of this is emphasis. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Just real small something. In any jumla, when you are looking at a sentence, you are going to see the amil for jumlatul ismiya is going to be mubtada, right? Which makes your khabar rafin status. In case of jumlatul failya, the amil is fail, right? That makes file rafa, and that makes your maful bihi nasbin status. Have we covered this ever before? Yes, we have covered it. I'm just reviewing it with you. When your when a component of jumla ismiya is before mubtada, when a component of jumla failure is before fail, which means taqdeemul lafz ala amilihi, when something is brought before the amil of that very sentence. What is the benefit? Al ikhtisas, exclusivity, and tawqeed as well. Okay, is this clear to all of you? When something is brought before the amil, remember we just did two examples, lillahul hamd, lillahil hamdu, lillahil hamdu, and the example where I was showing you what was the other example that I was just comparing it with um I think now I'm forgetting iyyaka na'budu, iyyaka na'budu, right? So if those, if there is something, if there is something where that has been brought before the amil, you are start going to think about ikhtisas. If something is brought before something that is not amil, if there is something that has not been brought before the amil, then tajil, tabshir, ihtimam, at-tazim, at-tahzir, at-takhfif is going to be um, thought of. Okay, and what is that? I'm going to cover this. I'm going to just briefly tell you about this in the next session, inshallah. Our time is up. But basically, what you need to know for this session, what I want you all to understand from this very session, to the take home points are: remember your asmaul shart and asmaul istifham to be, they must be in the beginning. They must be in the beginning. It is wajib for them to be in the beginning. You must know your damir munfasil, which is iyaka, iyahu, iyana. All those will be in the beginning. They must be in the beginning. After amma shartiya, you must know, maful bihi must be in the beginning. And sometimes you all should now, by now, should learn that sometimes amma shartiya may not be mentioned. And if I see a maful bihi, and after maful bihi, the fail is, you know, the fail is with a fa, like here, fakabbir wasiyabaka fatahhir, something this construction. I'm going to consider amma shartiya is makhzoof here. Okay, and it is wajib for maful bihi to be muqaddam. Why is it brought forward? The purpose of this in the last two cases is going to be to bring attention to yatim, to bring attention to those in need, to bring to, so that you all pay attention to your Rabb, that you can only glorify your Rabb. And when it comes to your clothes, you must purify them. You make sure that they're always pak and they are without any najs. Okay, so with that I will end the session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties that we had this during this session, but I hope you were able to understand, and will be able to take home some of the lessons from this session, inshallah. Ameen wa yaki. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته